Alright, welcome back guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be doing my review of The 100, Season 5, Episode 10, The Warrior's Will. So if The 100 is something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any more 100 rated content from me in the future. Now let's begin. Starting off, we're going to talk about Abby and her story with Paxton and Vincent. Now, I felt like this is probably one of my favorite storylines of the episode. I love what they did with Abby. The actress Paige is hitting it out of the ballpark with this episode. Especially, the actress is just killing it, in my opinion. I love how they've been portraying her addiction in this episode. It was very well done, and I love how Paxton is just playing these mind games with her, with who will last longer, her with her addiction or him with his illness. I love that. It was just such a great scene between the two of them. They were really good in this episode. I thought it was a great episode. And then you throw in Vincent into the mix. I love what they're doing with his character. It was such an interesting kind of take, and we finally get to see like why he's kind of one of the criminals. You kind of see what's going on with him. I hope we get some more explanation into that in the future. But I did very much enjoy what they did with him in this episode, because I feel like they're utilizing him very well and doing some interesting and exciting stuff with his character, especially his relationship with Abby. I think that was really well done in this episode, and how he's kind of being like the mole for her. I thought that was very well done, very well handled, and how they kind of did this secret kind of mission where he gets her pills. Really well handled, very good stuff, good writing in that area. And just I don't know, the three of them, Abby, Vincent, and McCreary, were all great in all their scenes with this episode. I felt like they were all really well and very strong. The acting was well, the line delivery was very well, and I just felt like it was very well handled, especially Vincent. Again, going back to him, they really like are delivering him on this like kind of creepy kind of like vibe like you'd see in one of those horror films. It was really good. I think this guy should be in more stuff. I think he's an incredible actor, and I can't wait to see what he does depending on what goes on with his character, if he ends up dying or not. If I think he should be in more shows and movies and stuff, because he definitely has this kind of creepy vibe to him that I think would be very well handled in another big level production other than The 100. Moving on to Octavia and her storyline, this is the one that I felt very much mixed on. I've had a lot of issues with Octavia this season regarding her turn to the dark side, plus Marie's acting just doesn't fit the role in my opinion. It feels less like she's acting like a seasoned actor portraying Octavia in this role, more like a child dressing up and playing kind of dress up in their home. It doesn't feel authentic in my opinion. It doesn't, Marie needs to harden up her acting abilities in my opinion. It doesn't do her any good in this episode, especially even more. It just bothered me. The stuff with her was fine. Her meeting with Indra and Bellamy was fine. I didn't have an issue too much there. I liked how they did that. It brought up some old stuff like Bellamy and her childhood and how Indra taught her. It was fine. The one con I did have there was it felt like even with her going to talk to them, there was no way she was going to not go on with the fight. One, because they saw it in the previews, and two, it just would kind of destroy any kind of character development they had already given her. So it just felt out of place. They could have kind of had less of that and kind of done away with this stuff, because I feel like we could have kind of polished it up and gotten more scenes with other characters and seen other storylines. I'm not against what they do with it. I just think they could have tightened it up a bit and done a little bit more. Again, though, I did like the conversations, especially like when Indra said she'll kill Bellamy and how Bellamy said she'll be losing him. Those were great line deliveries and some great kind of character moments, because you can see the breaking of Octavia's character and how she still, to an extent, cares about her lover, but is willing to do whatever it takes to an extent to make sure she gets her war. The thing that bothers me a lot about Octavia this season, though, is she's just kind of a selfish person. I feel like as much as she says I care about my people, it just feels like she's doing this for herself, and that's what bothers me the most about this season of Octavia, because it just, I don't know, I just don't like her in this season. But then you move on to her little side story with Monty and the Hydra farm. again, good stuff there. Had some good potential, but again, it just felt like a waste of time. I get why they had it in there due to what comes at the end of the episode, but it just felt like, yeah, this isn't gonna go anywhere. There's no way she's gonna go along with the Hydra Farm stuff. It just felt like, okay, why do we got this? We know it's not gonna work. And I just wish they had done something just a tad bit different with Monty. Again, I love Monty's character and Harper. It just felt like they could have done something completely different and handled it a little bit better. Or I think what would have been worked a little bit better is if they used Monty earlier in a few episodes ago, where we saw him try to regrow the Hydra farm. Maybe Octavius shows some level of interest and thinks it might be helpful. But then we kind of see her in the next few episodes deteriorate to the point where she gets to where she is now. I think that would have helped out a lot in this episode and given us a lot more to work with the Hydra farm and Octavia. But I just feel like it kind of felt like a little forced and kind of like we know it's not going to work. It was just one of those moments. But then we get to the big climax of the episode where you got the battle between Indra and her daughter Gaia and Bellamy. Really well handled. I liked it. Again, I got one con here though, and it's when Indra slashes his arm and he like goes to attack her and he lets out this like scream. I really felt that was extremely cheesy. It could have worked. It could have really worked, but it just, I don't know, something about Bob's delivery in that moment just felt extremely like cheesy and out of place. Like we were at this big climactic moment and then he does that. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it just felt cheesy as hell. And I did not like that. I felt like it just, again, felt out of place. And then you got Gaia who throws a spear at Octavia. And you know what? It kind of was okay. I'm okay with it. I felt like a Gaia could have died at that moment, but I'm okay with how it turned out. It was fine, and but it didn't grab me, pull me out of the moment or anything. It just, I don't know, I have mixed about it, because it wasn't bad, but I just didn't like it at the same time. And then you got Monty interrupting the fight, explaining the Hydra farm, and everybody starts turning on Octavia. Again, great stuff. But then, of course, you have Octavia going and burning the Hydra farm. And that's where Octavia, for me at least, has lost all respect. I will never respect Octavia again. I don't care what she does. I'll never have respect for her as a character ever again. That is where you got the point of no return for me. I felt like that was a selfish thing to do just so she can get her war. And it just, I don't know, it just bothered me so much that she'd go to that extent so she could get a war. It just, I hated it. There's no coming back from that. In my opinion, she could do anything. She could save someone's life. I will never forgive her for that. I think for me, her change to that side has changed my opinion on her, and it won't go back permanently. In my opinion, I don't think I'm ever gonna change my opinion. And it ends the episode of her leading the Wanna crew to the valley and marching on them. Again, it had some good stuff. It had some good, interesting stuff, but at the same time, there was just not enough there to kind of keep me engaged with the story. There was some good stuff, don't get me wrong, but again, it just felt kind of like a waste of time with the Hydra farm and some of the talks, because they weren't going to stop the battle or the arena fight. They were just there to kind of make more time for stuff to happen and kind of give us, I don't know, it was a freaking character development. It felt like it could have been, but the character development just felt off to me. Again, not hating on everything, but it just, I don't know, I feel like this area of the story could have used a polishing of the writing, and it could have just been a little bit stronger, and I could have liked it a little bit better. But leave your thoughts and opinions about Octavia's story and the bunker story in the comment section down below. Last, we got Clark and Maddie's story and their return to the valley. Now, I didn't think about it until this point, but I really I'm worried about what they're doing with Maddie. Because it's definitely showed in this episode, and it feels like they're using Maddie as kind of like a get out of jail free card. And I understand that the flame is supposed to make her wiser and smarter, but I feel like it's breaking a point where she's giving Clark advice where it should be the other way around. And I don't like that. I feel like, yes, you can make the flame make her wise and have her kind of be smart, but don't make it be where she gives Clark advice. Give it where Clark gives her advice, and helps her grow as a commander. It shouldn't be the other way around. I think that is a weak way of writing and just kind of like a get out of jail free card. And I just don't like it. It just bothers me a lot. Clarke, I know a lot of people hate Clarke this season, but I've been really enjoying her. I understand why people don't like her, but in her defense, she is what I see as a parent raising a child, and the child is coming to age, and she has to let go of that child to an extent. And it's her struggling with that, her kind of feelings of can she let go or not. I like that storytelling. I think Clarke had one of the best storylines so far this season, and I'm really enjoying it. You have them returning home, and they come across McCreary executing some of the defectors, and he's looking for Diyoza. And I like that. There's not much that goes on with their story. They do have some good moments there, but I just don't. I think they need to fix some things. I did very much like the backstory to Becca there. It was subtle and very well handled, in my opinion. We didn't need like a whole episode dedicated to Becca and her backstory. Having Maddie see how she dies was perfect. That was perfectly handled. And I think they could easily incorporate that to other commanders and maybe have that for Alexa. And I really like how they added in how commanders usually die in a horrific kind of manner or in a bad way. I really like that. I think that was kind of an interesting kind of tidbit of information there. Again, they had some great stuff, and I think the Becca thing was perfectly handled. We didn't, like I said, we don't need like an episode dedicated to Becca. We already got that last season or a couple seasons ago, and we don't need it again. We've learned enough we need to know about Becca, and her death this way was subtle and very well handled. I felt like it was probably one of the best things that they've been able to do. I loved it, and I think it was just perfect with how they handled Becca's flashback. Then we end the episode, of course, well, their story at least, with Clarke finding her mom passed out, overdosed. A great way to end the episode and setting up the next episode. Really great. I think they're definitely headed in the right direction this season, and I think just a few small things here and there, it was okay. This episode, I'd give it maybe like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I wouldn't give it anything higher. I feel like the show still is in need of improvement, but it's in a good direction and is headed in the right way if they continue on and improve the storytelling and some other elements that I think definitely need some improvement. Other than that, I think this is a pretty decent to good episode, and I'm interested to see how they tell the story of the Dark Year next week. So yeah, guys, that's my quick review of The 100, Season 5, Episode 10, The Warrior's Will. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way I don't miss any more The 100 content from me in the future. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.